Coach, earlier this week, obviously a big day with the draft, Phil Klein getting taken in the 30th round by Texas. Just talk about that accomplishment from Phil's perspective and then what that means for you as a program.
Well, I'm real happy for Phil and his family. You know, just a lot of hard work, great work ethic for 4 years here, and you know, 6'7" right-hander. You know, throwing what he throws, his velocity and everything. But you know, I was real happy for him, and it's something that's well deserved. And you know, as a program, it shows we continue to develop players and get players drafted out of here. And I think that's going to be, you know, having 5 signed pro contracts in 2 years is an accomplishment for those players, but also for our program as we continue to move forward.
Kind of building on that a little bit, going back even further. Won 2 tournament games, finished 3rd a year ago, won your first tournament game. 3 guys drafted in the last 2 years, 4 guys playing in the minors now. Just talk about maybe the progress that you're seeing overall with the program.
Well, I think, you know, the 2 games in the tournament, two tournament wins this year, they were huge. I mean, you know, I liked our matchup with Milwaukee, with Phil going game 1. You know, our guys continue to fight, worked hard. We scrapped for those 4 runs. And then having to bounce back after a tough loss with Wright State that night, having to play in the morning again against UIC, who beat us all 5 games in the regular season. Our guys continue to work hard. You know, they continue to believe in that we can get it done. And just an outstanding job. And, you know, and to be in the Final 3, we just were very, very excited to be in the Final 3 and a couple innings away going championship. That's something to really build on for next year.
Talking next year and even further along, big week for newcomers as well, where you had 2 guys that were named JUCO All-American, 2 guys that signed NLIs, got drafted. Just talk about maybe, you know, where you're at with your recruiting process for next year and beyond, and you know what you continue to look for.
Well, we're excited about those guys, plus the other players coming in, but especially those guys, their accomplishments, that shows that they have a good reputation of being good players. Other people see that while those guys are going to Youngstown State. That means a lot. You know, we're going to continue our development. They feel good to, you know, even though they were drafted, they're still coming. Because they know they're going to be well developed and get drafted once again. But just very excited for them and their families, and you know, really shows a lot with our program that come to YSU, you're being developed as a professional baseball player possibly, and academically as well.
Obviously, when we're talking future, we're on location here at the Watts facility. Batting cages behind you, turf, you know, that you're standing on here. Just talk about something that, you know, that this can bring in terms of recruiting and then just preparation, you know, when it's snowing here, you know, January, February, when you're trying to get ready for teams in the South where it's 70 outside.
Well, it's going to be really something. You know, every time we've brought a few players in already, bringing them in to see it physically, and just with the cages, to being able to go live in here with the net that'll come over the field. Just outstanding. I mean, it's something that we've been talking about for a couple of years now. The players that are currently here that were freshmen, we talked about this facility. They're going to be able to be in here for 3 years. Players coming in have a couple 4 years. A couple of them have 2, 4 years. It's just going to be an outstanding facility for us come winter time. But more importantly, also during individual time, being able to just come over whenever, working on defensive routines, long toss, everything. This facility is outstanding. We thank the Watson and Tressel, DeBarlow, Cafaro, everyone that has their hand in this. It's really pushing us forward to the future.
Obviously, we're in June now, so don't have to worry about, you know, the indoor practices. But maybe just talk about, you know, your summer schedule and, you know, being out recruiting and office work. And, you know, you're looking for 2 new coaches, and you know, just talk about, you know, your plans here for the next couple months while everybody's on
Sure.
summer break.
Yeah, this next couple months we have some players out playing in the summer leagues, but for us, for myself, just being out watching some games, looking at future Penguins. Hopefully, we're looking as far as, you know, if players are sophomores and juniors right now. We just go to a lot of different showcases, but you know, the showcases give us an indication of, you know, some players to follow, but we got to see them in a game. There's a lot of kids and a lot of players that, do well in showcases, but we got to make sure they do well in the game and they have that game sense and their game readiness. So it's important for us to see actual games with these players and be at these games, watching, and a lot of travel this summer. And it's ongoing, and I don't, as a coach, we don't get vacation until the winter.